What's up everybody, Afiq here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. The new 2020 Honda City first made its debut here in Malaysia with a rather controversial commercial. Who would forget the cheeky little commercial that Honda made where the City made fun of the Vios Pro 2 Beza as well as the 2.5 Toyota Camry with the talk is king Honda City RS Hybrid. But it is only until a couple of weeks ago that the Malaysians have received their Honda City RS Hybrid delivery as compared to the regular ones which owners can already get since last year. So now the City RS sits at the top of the range of the Honda City lineup with a price tag of 107,000 ringgit. That is nearly a 20k jump for the next nearest Honda City, which is the V-Spec variant. The question is that price worth it? Without further ado, this is ABB Automotive. As the RS badge implies, the exterior of the City RS is given a slightly more sporty styling hue over the regular model. Up front, you still get the same full LED headlamp, indicator, daytime running light as well as fog lamp, which is the same as the lower V-Spec variant. The RS differentiates by having a honeycomb style grille with black painted upper trim as well as the RS badging, compared to the chrome one and horizontal style grille on the lower V variant. Lower down, there is also a black fog lamp garnish as well as a lower grille treatment. Moving to the side, the City RS further adds special touches like a black side mirror, which is mounted on the lower window sill. The same 16-inch alloy rims from the V-Spec is featured here, but is finished in a rather nice two-tone color combination. Elsewhere, the new Honda City personally for me has a rather good sedan proportion for a B-segment car. Lastly, to the rear, the RS adds on a subtle black deck spoiler up top and a sporty looking diffuser down below. The LED rear combination tail lamp is a standard feature and the entire end resembles a certain luxury German sedan that we love. Under the hood of the Honda City RS is probably the main factor for the RM20k jump in price. It features an all-new hybrid powertrain completely different from the one before. The 1.5-litre sports IAMD eHEV powertrain made its world debut here in the city, not only in Malaysia but the entire world. The powertrain has a max torque figure of 253 Nm and 108 PS for the electric motor alone, while the 1.5-litre Atkinson cycle engine partner produces 98 PS with 127 Nm of torque. The powertrain is paired to an eCVT gearbox. As the HEV or Hybrid Electric Vehicle moniker implies, the City Hybrid is at heart an electric vehicle. In a simple sense, under normal situation, a battery pack sends power to the electric motor, which is then send power to the front wheels. The battery then recharge again when the vehicle is coasting or braking thanks to the regenerative braking system. Under a situation of hard acceleration, the 1.5-litre engine will come into play and acts as a generator to provide more power to the electric motor, on top of the power that is already supplied from the battery, hence creating more output from the electric motor. At higher speed where constant power is needed, this is where the electric motor gives way to the engine under direct drive, where the power is sent from the engine to the front wheel via the eCVT gearbox. The combination of all this driving mode hence is called IMMD, or Intelligent Multi-Mode Driving. So currently I'm inside the Honda City RS Hybrid. So inside here, of course, being the top of the range model, there are some material difference compared to all the other City. So first things first, the seat. Okay, so the seats in the City RS is featuring a semi-leather with Alcantara, or also known as suede. And yeah, the material that is used on the seat is rather nice. So the seat color is black, and then you have this sort of like red or orange stitching on the seat, on the center armrest, as well as on the steering wheel. So the steering wheel here is leather wrap, which is very nice to the touch. And then the center armrest is also leather wrap. Now the steering wheel itself, it does feature tilt and telescopic. So you have no issue trying to find a good adjustment for the driver. So behind the steering wheel, you do have paddle shifter. Okay, so you do have paddle shifter. It's not a big size paddle shifter, but I like that it is still there. Now moving towards the dashboard area here, it looks very familiar, and that it looks identical to the other City. The only difference here is that the leather that they use on the dashboard is a black color with some red stitching. So if you look at the Honda City, the spec below this one, the V spec, so it features a white color leather instead on the dashboard. Now moving towards the center here, you do have an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system. So this screen features both Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. Now going into reverse, you do have a backup camera, and then this is a multi-angle backup camera, so you can change the angle of the camera. There's a button on the screen here that you can change the angle of the camera. Below that, you do have a single zone automatic climate control. The layout is very clean as well as very simple. Below that, some more, you do have two USB charger, as well as a place to store your phone or your keys. And then just below that, you do have two cup holder as well. Now the shifter on the Honda City is the traditional shifter, so I always love a traditional shifter, and it feels very nice in your hand, right? And then the shifter itself is also leather wrapped. The interior of the car in general features a very dark color theme. So you have your headliner, which is dark in color, the dashboard, okay? So it does give like a rather sporty vibe. But you do have some silver finishes as well as chrome door handle, okay? You also have a satin finish around the dashboard to brighten up the interior. Besides that, you also have this piano black finish catered along the dashboard. Now in terms of creature comfort and amenities, this Honda City RS does feature automatic headlight. You also have power folding outside mirror, as well as an electronic parking brake with brake hold system. So the Honda City RS is the only City model that comes with Honda Sensing. So the Honda Sensing is Honda's driver assistant system that bundles together safety systems such as forward collision warning, okay? You also have automatic high beam, lane keeping assist, lane departure alert, as well as adaptive cruise control. In front of you in the speedometer area, the Honda City RS is the only one that gets this 7-inch LCD display. You cannot get this on the lower model. So I would say this screen helps you cycle between all the information that your car has. It shows a lot of information actually. So you have the toggle switch here at your steering wheel. So you can cycle between information, alright? So you can see your range for the charge, okay? How much range do you have left? It can tell you whether you are charging or you are in the power bank, alright? So you also had the one thing that I realized inside here while cycling through the system. It has this thing called the G meter, which quite an interesting thing to have for a B segment sedan. I think this is the first ever B segment sedan to have this feature. So it records how much G you receive when you go into the band, which is normally I will only see this system in a sports car. So to have it in the City RS, yeah, like interesting, yeah, quite interesting as well. Now, the dashboard area, you do have soft touch material at the lower part of the dash, but the upper part is still using high grade plastic. So this is okay for me because most cars in this class are still using this type of material. The center armrest in the middle, it's a very nice location. I would say that my outer elbow and my inside elbow have an almost symmetrical feeling. And underneath that center armrest, you also have a decent storage. Not the biggest in class, but then it's deep enough to hide away whatever that you need to hide in the car lah. And then on the driver's side, you do have a decent amount of glove box space as well. The outer armrest is also wrapped in leather, and it is featuring this red stitching as well. So here in the back seat of the Honda City, just like the previous generation, this is where the Honda City always excel. As you can see from where I'm sitting right now, the Honda City has always been the B segment car with the largest rear space. Okay, so in terms of space, as you can see, all right, I have loads amount of leg room. So this front seat is adjusted to my driving position. I am 165 cm of height. Leg room, not an issue. Headroom, my hair is touching a bit with the ceiling because of my spiky hair, but it is common for B segment to have this issue, alright? But I would say this is not an issue for me. You can just slouch a bit, right? It is fine. Okay, so this is possible due to the fact that the rear seat here is very reclined. Okay, it's the angle of the recline makes this sitting position very comfortable. Now, in terms of amenities back here, I would say the Honda City is pretty complete. Okay, so first things first, you do have a center armrest. So the center armrest feature 2 cup holder, which is always nice. And not only that, the Honda City also features rear aircon vents behind the center console. So as you know, in Malaysia, the weather is always very hot. So having a rear aircon at the back here is always a welcome addition. Not only that, underneath the center aircon here, you do have an outlet. Okay, you have a 12 volt, two 12 volt outlet, so you can put an adapter to charge your phone. Besides that, you do have dual map pocket, so you have 2 map pocket behind the passenger seat as well as the driver seat. Lastly, the floor is almost completely flat, so even if you want to sit in the middle, it is not an issue, alright, because you have a place to put your feet. So besides that, another thing that I want to mention is that you do have this grab handle that is this pull down style. And then the outer armrest is also soft touch and leather wrap, featuring that same orange stitching from the front. So I've been driving the City RS for a while now. I gotta say, first impression, as expected, that hybrid system with the IMD system, it does give you more torque compared to the regular engine. And yes, inside the car, upon acceleration, you can really feel the torque, especially when you're getting off the line, or you're just, you know, like you're crawling at 30 km an hour and then you match the throttle, it just gives you instant torque. With that being said though, is it as much as a torque, or does it feel torquier than the old City? Not really. I still feel that the old City is slightly more torquey, but then the delivery of this torque, I would say, is very linear, right? It slowly built up to its max peak torque, which is at 253 Nm of torque. So for daily use right now, I would say that is already more than enough torque for daily use, especially if you're using this car in the city. The torque figure, the acceleration that the torque gives is enough for you to, you know, merge into traffic, change lane, or overtaking, not an issue, right? Another thing that I noticed inside this car, of course, being the hybrid system, when you first start the car, it is in electric mode, it is very silent, right? This cabin is very silent. Okay, you don't have a lot of road noise and as well as wind noise. So for me, as a commuter car, this is a B segment car, so it's a commuter car. Those things is a huge bonus for me, okay, because you drive this car every day, you don't want all of this noise filtering into the cabin. So for the CTRS, I'm happy to report that the interior of this car, the noise insulation is rather good, right? So you're quite isolated from the outside. Another thing that I want to mention is that the side mirror on this car is mounted on the lower part of the window sill, so it's not mounted on the A-pillar. So for me, that improved visibility, so you can actually see better out of the A-pillar section there, so you don't have a big blind spot as well, right? And I like that the dashboard is dark color, because I have an issue where if the dashboard is slightly bright, it will reflect through the windscreen, right? For the CTRS, the dashboard is black, so not an issue, right? Now in terms of the seating, I would say it's a very comfortable seat. Alright, the seat looks to be a semi bucket seat, but somebody who's slightly on the plus side will be benefiting from this chair, because I find that the bolstering is not too confining. You still have a little bit of room to wiggle around. Alright, and then this Honda City is the only range, this RS is the only model that gets Honda Sensing. Happy to report that the Honda sensing system worked just fine. Alright, I've been flashed a couple of times where I switched lane without signaling, and the warning is very bright and center in the middle of the speedometer. So yeah, going out from the junction now, you can wheel speed thanks to that torque. So final verdict, after driving this city for a while, I would say having that new hybrid system is a welcome addition to the Honda City. So the Honda City for me has always been a top contender in the B segment. It is comfortable, you have a lot of room in the back, and then in terms of pricing is also alright. So with that new hybrid system, that torque that you get, so you can actually change how the character of this car is. So during the day, you're just going to work, alright, normal commute, it can be very economical being a hybrid system. But you know, in the weekend, and you just want to have a little bit of fun and you know, have a little bit of time to yourself. Yeah, the power from the hybrid system, that 253 Newton meters of torque, can easily transform this car into a straight line sports car. Yeah, granted, it's not the most powerful car out there, but then given the price point of this, yeah, I would say not bad. You know, the CTRS is not bad at all. And then this CTRS is the only CT that you can get with full safety suite. So those Honda sensing system, which I find nowadays is a must if you're buying a new car. So you're getting the Honda City and you have a little bit of extra money, upgrade to the RS. Alright, upgrade to the RS, you're getting more power. And then not only power, like in the exterior department also you're getting a lot of style. Right, you have that two-tone 16-inch alloy rim. Alright, you have that rear diffuser, rear spoiler, and then not to mention this rather beautiful red paint. Okay, so this red paint, I would say up close is quite a nice color. Alright, the shade of it, I like the shade of it. So yeah, the CTRS, a very solid B contender, a very solid contender in the B segment sedan market. No doubt that the City will still continue to be the best B segment sedan in Malaysia. So with that, we come to the end of this video. If you like that video, do give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel as well as hitting the little small bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post something new on my channel. I would like to say thank you for watching. Stay safe, take care, and have a nice day.